In the world of muscle cars, few names resonate like the 1970 Dodge Challenger RT. But despite its legendary status, this iconic car has a dark, little-known chapter in its history, a chapter that begins with a mysterious ban. What happened to the Challenger RT after it soared to victory during its legendary first season? Was it its raw power that made it a threat on the track, or was something more at play? In this video, we uncover the shocking truth behind why the Challenger RT, a car built to dominate the streets and tracks, was banned after just one unforgettable season. What made it so dangerous to the sport that it was forced into early retirement? And what secrets are hidden within the legacy of this legendary muscle car? Stay with us as we dive into the mystery that continues to fuel car enthusiasts' imaginations to this day. In 1970, Dodge introduced a car that would go down in history as one of the most fierce competitors in the muscle car market, the Challenger RT. At a time when American automakers were in a fierce battle for supremacy on the streets and racetracks, the Challenger RT became an instant legend. Its arrival was more than just a new model, it was a statement. The Challenger RT wasn't just designed for looks, it was engineered to win. Equipped with the 426 HEMI V8 engine, it boasted a 425 horsepower rating, a beastly powertrain that made it the dominant force on the racetrack. But the Challenger wasn't just about raw power. It had the precision handling and sleek design that made it a standout. Dodge marketed it as the ultimate muscle car, capable of obliterating the competition. In terms of looks, it turned heads with its aggressive styling, wide stance, and powerful presence. But it was on the track where the Challenger RT truly shone. Its design wasn't just for show, it was a race-ready machine. The RT was a direct competitor to cars like the Ford Mustang Boss 429 and the Chevrolet Camaro Z28. But it had one distinct advantage: its unmatched speed and acceleration. With the HEMI engine under the hood, the Challenger RT could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.8 seconds, making it one of the fastest muscle cars of its time. In its first and only season of racing, the Challenger RT crushed records and took on legendary competitors like Mustangs and Chevelles. It was clear that Dodge had created a monster, a car built not only for the streets but for the track as well. However, the question loomed: could it really sustain this kind of dominance in the high-stakes world of racing? Little did anyone know, the Challenger RT's one season of glory would be its last. But what happened next would change the course of automotive history forever. When the 1970 Dodge Challenger RT hit the tracks, it wasn't just another car. It was a game changer. The Challenger RT's presence on the racing circuit was nothing short of electrifying. In its only season, it turned heads, shattered records, and delivered thrilling victories that would forever cement its place in muscle car lore. But what made it so special? Let's start with the heart of the Challenger RT, the engine. Under the hood, the 426 HEMI V8 engine was a powerhouse that generated an astonishing 425 horsepower. With that kind of raw power, the Challenger RT didn't just compete, it dominated. Its acceleration was almost supernatural, pushing it from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just under 6 seconds, a blistering pace for its time. The Challenger was unstoppable, with blazing straight-line speed that left competitors in its dust. But speed alone isn't enough to make a car legendary. What truly set the Challenger RT apart was its handling. With its tuned suspension, wide tires, and improved traction, the Challenger RT held its ground in tight corners and high-speed turns. This was a car that could not only go fast, it could take on anything the track threw at it, whether it was hairpin turns or aggressive competitors. The precision of the Challenger RT on the track gave it a competitive edge over cars that were simply designed for speed alone. The 1970 Challenger RT quickly earned a reputation as a racing monster. It was fast, agile, and, most importantly, unpredictable. Its first race season was filled with victories that stunned both fans and competitors. Drivers were in awe of its raw power, but also its durability and reliability. The car's dominance in the first few races had even seasoned veterans shaking their heads, questioning whether anyone could keep up. But as quickly as it had risen, the Challenger RT's dominance would be brought to an abrupt halt. The question remained, was it too much power for the sport? What could possibly stop such a legendary beast from continuing its reign? Despite its overwhelming success, the 1970 Challenger RT was quickly banned from racing. But why? How could such a dominant machine be sidelined after only a brief season of glory? The answer is rooted in the very essence of the Challenger's power. It was just too much car for the sport at the time. The Challenger RT's massive 426 HEMI engine had already put it on the map as a record-breaking muscle car. But it wasn't just the engine's power that made it controversial. It was the competitive advantage it gave Dodge. NASCAR and other racing bodies had strict regulations in place, and the Challenger RT quickly became the target of scrutiny. While some speculated that the car's outrageous speed and power were too much for the competition, others believed that it wasn't the car's capabilities that were the issue, but the rules themselves. At the time, NASCAR's homologation rules stated that in order to race a car, a version of it had to be available for purchase by the general public. But the Challenger RT was too close to a purebred racing machine. Dodge had designed the car to be fast and dominant, not necessarily to meet the regulations required for stock car racing. The original RT's design and specs made it difficult for the car to meet NASCAR's criteria, pushing the car's developmental limits into a space where the regulators had to take action. Additionally, the Challenger RT's overwhelming success in its brief race season raised some eyebrows in the racing world. The fear of a competitive imbalance was real. What if the R/T dominated every race, leaving its competitors with no chance? The idea that one car could leave all others in the dust was unacceptable to many in the industry. To preserve the integrity of the sport and ensure a level playing field, racing officials made the difficult decision to ban the Challenger RT. The Challenger RT was too powerful, too innovative, and perhaps too dangerous for the established norms of the time. It wasn't about cheating or breaking the rules, it was simply about how far Dodge had pushed the boundaries. The car's untamed power had created an environment where it became too much of a threat for both the competition and the sport itself. The Challenger RT was too much of a good thing, and in the world of racing, that was enough to earn it a ban. Despite its untimely ban, the 1970 Challenger RT left a legacy that continues to resonate within the automotive world. In just one season, the car had become a symbol of raw power and rebellion against the racing establishment. While its racing career was short-lived, the impact it had on the muscle car era was nothing short of monumental. The Challenger RT's aggressive design and unmatched performance left an indelible mark on the muscle car culture. It wasn't just a car, it was a statement. When it was banned from racing, enthusiasts and collectors didn't let it fade into obscurity. Instead, the legend grew. Car lovers around the world began to see the Challenger RT as the ultimate muscle car, a symbol of an era when cars were not just machines, but works of art built for speed and power. Its engine, the 426 HEM IV8, became one of the most iconic and sought-after powertrains in the history of American muscle cars. The sound of the HEMI engine still echoes in the minds of those who witnessed its power firsthand, and it's a sound that continues to thrill even today. Though the Challenger RT was banned from the track, its engine would go on to become synonymous with American horsepower and racing dominance. In the decades that followed, the 1970 Challenger RT became a collector's dream. Its limited production and legendary status made it one of the most coveted cars in history. Over the years, the RT's value skyrocketed, and it became a centerpiece in the collections of car enthusiasts and muscle car fanatics. Auctions saw prices soar, with well-maintained R/T models fetching astronomical sums, cementing its place as an automotive icon. But beyond its monetary value, the Challenger RT's true legacy lies in its influence. It inspired an entire generation of cars that would follow. Modern muscle cars, such as the Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat, trace their lineage directly to the 1970 RT. The Challenger's brutal power, sharp design, and race-ready performance set the standard for all future muscle cars. The Challenger RT didn't just create history, it became history. And while its racing career may have been cut short, its place in automotive lore was already sealed. To this day, the 1970 Challenger RT remains a benchmark for performance, style, and American engineering. The 1970 Challenger RT didn't just leave a legacy, it sparked a wave of myths and speculation that has fueled automotive enthusiasts for decades. With its swift rise and abrupt fall, many have questioned whether there's more to the story than meets the eye. Was the Challenger RT really as powerful as it was made out to be? Were the horsepower figures deliberately understated? Did Dodge intentionally downplay its true potential to avoid too much attention? The answers to these questions have become part of the car's mystique, and in many ways, they fuel its legendary status. One of the most enduring myths surrounding the Challenger RT is the true power of its engine. Officially, the car's 426 HEMI V8 was rated at 425 horsepower. However, many insiders and car enthusiasts believe this figure was a deliberate underestimation. Rumors have persisted that the RT's engine was actually capable of producing closer to 475 to 500 horsepower, if not more. But why would Dodge downplay the engine's capabilities? The answer lies in a mix of insurance reasons, regulatory compliance, and the fear of attracting too much scrutiny from racing authorities. In the muscle car era, manufacturers often underrated the horsepower of their engines to avoid higher insurance premiums and to stay within the bounds of certain industry regulations. But these underrated figures only added to the car's legend. Enthusiasts would often report real-world performance that far exceeded the factory specs. It wasn't unusual for a well-tuned Challenger RT to perform as if it had several hundred more horses under the hood, leading many to believe the official numbers were more of a marketing strategy than an honest reflection of the car's power. Another intriguing myth surrounds the reason for the Challenger RT's ban. While many assume it was banned due to its sheer performance on the track, there's speculation that the real reason for its exclusion was the political dynamics within the racing world. Could it be that the Challenger RT's incredible success threatened established manufacturers and the status quo of racing? The Challenger RT was not just a muscle car, it was a symbol of rebellion, pushing against the limits of what was allowed in motorsport. Some believed that its ban was less about technical violations and more about maintaining the balance of power in the racing world. Whether it was about NASCAR regulations, competition concerns, or the fear of a one-car revolution, the Challenger RT's ban remains a subject of intense debate. What's clear is that the Challenger RT wasn't just a car. It was a mystery, one that continues to be pieced together by enthusiasts, speculators, and dreamers alike. While the 1970 Challenger RT's racing career was brief, its influence in the world of popular culture has been anything but fleeting. Over the decades, the Challenger RT has become a symbol of muscle car culture. One of the most memorable moments in pop culture featuring the Challenger RT comes from the classic film Vanishing Point, 1971. In this cult classic, the Challenger RT becomes the hero car in a high-speed race across the American landscape. The film's protagonist, Kowalski, races through the desert in a white Challenger RT, embodying the spirit of freedom, rebellion, and raw power that the car represents. The 1970 Challenger RT was more than just a car in the film. It was a symbol of defiance, perfectly capturing the rebellious attitude of the muscle car era. The Challenger RT has also made appearances in other media, further cementing its status as a pop culture icon. Whether it's in music videos, video games, or the Fast and Furious franchise, the car has been a constant presence in the media landscape, fueling a new generation of fans. In fact, the Challenger RT's return to the streets in the modern era through Dodge's Challenger SRT Hellcat was directly influenced by the car's deep ties to pop culture and its enduring legacy. Beyond the silver screen and music, the Challenger RT also plays a significant role in car culture events. It has become a staple at classic car shows, where enthusiasts from around the world gather to celebrate muscle cars. The Challenger RT's iconic lines, aggressive styling, and legendary engine continue to attract admirers, making it a favorite subject for restorations, customizations, and even scale models. The car's presence in pop culture isn't just a nostalgic look back at a simpler time. It's a timeless reminder of the power, performance, and spirit of the American muscle car. The Challenger RT is more than just a vehicle. It's a cultural touchstone, inspiring both car enthusiasts and those who simply love a good story about rebellion and speed. The 1970 Challenger RT may have been banned from racing, but its spirit was far from extinguished. Over the decades, its legend grew until it was resurrected, not just as a classic car, but as a redefined icon of modern muscle. In 2008, Dodge unveiled the modern Challenger to much fanfare, with a design that echoed the classic 1970 model while incorporating cutting-edge performance technologies. This new version wasn't just a tribute, it was a comeback. The modern Challenger SRT was powered by a 5.7-litre Hemi V8 that delivered a stunning 372 horsepower. This new version of the Challenger RT was built for the 21st century, blending nostalgic styling with modern performance. And just like its predecessor, it didn't just get attention, it commanded respect on the streets and on the track. But the resurrection didn't stop there. In 2015, Dodge introduced the Challenger SRT Hellcat, a high-performance version that took everything the original RT represented and pushed it even further. With a 707 horsepower supercharged V8, the Hellcat was wildly powerful, a true muscle car monster that had the streets talking. The Challenger RT's legendary status had evolved, and the modern version was more formidable than ever before. However, it wasn't just the performance numbers that attracted people, it was the heritage. The resurrection of the Challenger wasn't just about reviving a car model, it was about honoring a legacy. The new Challenger retained the bold lines, aggressive stance, and roaring HEMI engine that made the original a muscle car icon. For car enthusiasts, it wasn't just about having a new Challenger. It was about feeling the connection to the original 1970 Challenger RT, a car that had dominated the streets and tracks in its time. The modern Challenger RT embodies the reawakening of an American muscle car spirit, blending classic appeal with modern engineering. The Challenger's resurrection was a testament to the fact that some legends never truly die. They simply evolve and keep on roaring. The 1970 Challenger RT wasn't just a fleeting moment in automotive history, it was the catalyst for the resurgence of American muscle cars in the decades that followed. The Challenger's design, engineering, and performance set a benchmark for what a muscle car should be, and its legacy has been felt deeply in the design of many modern muscle cars. One of the most notable impacts of the Challenger RT's influence can be seen in the Ford Mustang and the Chevrolet Camaro, two competitors that have also undergone significant evolution over the years. While both vehicles have long been known as rivals to the Challenger, the influence of the 1970 Challenger RT can be seen in the way both Ford and Chevy have embraced the muscle car formula. The Mustang Shelby GT500 and the Camaro ZL1 owe much of their design ethos to the raw power and aggressive styling that defined the Challenger RT. The modern muscle car renaissance that has dominated the car scene in recent years owes a great deal to the Challenger's continued success. In fact, Dodge's revival of the Challenger nameplate in 2008 wasn't just about bringing back a classic, it was about reintroducing the muscle car ideal to an entirely new generation. The Challenger SRT Hellcat and its monstrous 707 horsepower can trace their inspiration directly back to the Challenger RT's raw power and track-worthy performance. What's more, the Challenger RT's design has left an indelible mark on the aesthetic of modern muscle cars. Its bold, aggressive lines, wide stance, and muscular silhouette are now standard features in cars that seek to evoke the same fierce, unapologetic presence that the original Challenger brought to the streets. Modern muscle cars are now defined by their unmistakable looks, and all of that began with the 1970 Challenger RT. Today, the Challenger RT's legacy is not just about performance, it's about continuing a tradition of American-made muscle cars that command respect, whether it's on the drag strip or in the showroom. The 1970 Dodge Challenger RT may have only raced for a single season, but in that brief moment, it forever redefined what a muscle car could be. Its raw power, iconic design, and the mystery surrounding its sudden ban have ensured that the Challenger RT remains a cornerstone in the history of American performance cars. Despite its short-lived career, the Challenger RT's impact on both the automotive world and popular culture is undeniable. From its dramatic rise on the racing circuit to its banning from the sport, the Challenger RT captured the imagination of car enthusiasts, collectors, and movie fans alike. The mystique surrounding the car has only grown over the years, making it one of the most coveted and iconic muscle cars in the history of American automotive design. But the Challenger RT's story didn't end with its ban. Instead, it has served as a touchstone, inspiring an entire generation of muscle cars and proving that true legends never fade away. The modern Challenger, particularly the SRT Hellcat, has taken the spirit of the 1970 RT and evolved it into something even more powerful, more aggressive, and more refined for the 21st century. The legacy of the Challenger RT lives on, and it is still very much a part of the ongoing narrative of American muscle cars. The Challenger RT's influence is still felt today in every high-performance car that bears the same bold stance and roaring engine. Dodge didn't just build a car with the Challenger, they built an icon. And that icon still resonates with anyone who understands the true meaning of performance, power, and American ingenuity. In the end, the 1970 Challenger RT wasn't just banned because of its power. It was banned because it was too much of a good thing, too legendary to be allowed to dominate for too long. And while its time on the track was brief, the Challenger RT's legacy will continue to inspire and thrill muscle car fans for generations to come.